Yo, to get your boy Chris Lee, welcome back to another video. I know this is late, but better late than never. We will be matchmaking the winners of UFC Freedom 250 / the White House card. Moving on to the winners of the card, starting off with the main event. Justin Gaethje destroys Ilia Topuria. He knocked him out. He made him quit. He is now the undisputed lightweight champion. What a world we live in. Now, there's a few options you could go. You could go Charles Oliveira, who's very deserving and has a win over Justin Gaethje. You can go Arman Tsarukyan, which is the one obviously I picked. Or you could go winner of Max Connor. I don't think you give Ilia a rematch. I don't think he earned it. I think he didn't defend his title. He was unsuccessful in defending his title once. He got KO'd. I think he needs a rebound fight, and you'll see who I selected for that rebound fight on the losers section. I think Arman Tsarukyan is the clear pick here. There's not much. Arman deserves it. He deserved it after the Charles Oliveira win in UFC, 300, I think? Was that 300? It might have been 300. Was it? Nah. I don't know. 299, somewhere around there. He then, he took all that long year-and-a-half hiatus. He then destroyed Dan Hooker. He's obviously the title challenger. He's the number one contender. I think Arman Tsarukyan versus Justin Gaethje is the match to make. Booking near the end of the year. Get Justin Gaethje back in there. I think Arman Tsarukyan destroys Justin Gaethje. I think he's just as good on the feet, and I think his grappling and his jiu-jitsu is 10-0. I think he destroys Justin Gaethje, and I think we'd get a new champion. So I'm going to go Arman Tsarukyan versus Justin Gaethje. Moving on to the co-main event. We obviously know this fight's going to be made probably in September in Paris. Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall. A rematch. He's now the interim interim heavyweight title champion, and Tom is the undisputed. This has to be the next match. It's both guys have confirmed. There's not much to talk about. Moving on to another fight that feels destined to happen. The call-outs, both of them want it. Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan. Sean got a win over Ayman Zahabi by KO, then called out Peter Yan. Peter Yan's next fight will be against Merab, but we know Sean O'Malley likes to take half a year off in between fights. I think we see this in early 2026, late 2020, or late 2026, early 2027. I think regardless of who wins versus Merab and Peter Yan in that trilogy, I think Sean O'Malley fights Peter Yan. If Merab wins, I think they book Umar Merab 2, and they book Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley. And if Peter Yan beats Merab, I think they do Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan. I don't think Sean O'Malley's going to have another fight. I think they obviously love him. They put him on all the big cards. He's definitely going to get the match against Peter Yan. And I think Peter Yan will be the champion. I think he will beat Merab. Moving on to Josh Hokett. Josh Hokett versus Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira got brutally knocked out at heavyweight. His chin can't hold up. His chin can't hold up against those punches. He got called out by Josh Hokett. Alex Pereira has stated that he's staying at heavyweight. And I think, he got demolished. So he's not going to fight Pavlovich. He's not going to fight a Volkov. He fights a little bit down in the rankings. He fights someone entertaining. Doesn't have that one-shot knockout power. Entertaining build-up. Already been called out. Both of them have clear beef. Pereira has stated that he will fight Josh Hokett. So let's make that fight. Marcio. I don't know how to pronounce his fucking first name. Rufy versus Charles Oliveira is the fight I made. I was originally gonna book the loser of BSD, Patty, to fight Rufy, but I think Patty's going to win that fight, so it would be BSD versus Rufy again. I don't think that's the fight to make. And I think Charles is kind of in no man's land right now because Max is fighting Connor. Justin's going to fight Arman. You give him one more fight, Charles. If he wins, he gets a title shot. If he loses, he falls down in the rankings. I think Rufy earned a fight against Charles Oliveira. Very competitive fight. Obviously, both of them have massive ways to win. Charles is chinny. Rufy can't grapple. It's a very competitive fight. I know this isn't a long breakdown, but obviously, there's only 7 fights on the card, or 6 fights. No, it's 7, yeah. And a lot of the fights have already been, like, foretold in the fucking history books, so. Yeah. Moving on to the second fight of the evening, Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins. He knocked out Kyle Dawkins in hilarious fashion. Kyle Dawkins should be sent to the Wolves or cut from the UFC, which you'll see I will, well, obviously I book him later in this fucking video. Bo Nickel deserves a ranked opponent, and going off the, fan voted rankings instead of that shitty meta one, bro. The fucking with Kevin Borjas is ranked 11 in the flyweight division, going 1-4. Bo Nickel deserves the entry level ranking of the middleweight division, which is Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze offers no threat anywhere, and I think Bo Nickel cruises to a decision against him. I don't think they're going to give Bo Nickel like an Israel Adesanya or a Jared Cannonier, because I feel like they would beat Bo Nickel's ass. So I think they're going to give him a fight that they know he will win and give him Roman Dolidze. Diego Lopez, the opener, got a brutal knockout against Steve Garcia, as I predicted. He needs to fight Yair Rodriguez. He's not moving up to lightweight. He's too small for lightweight. His fight style only works because of his size. He needs to stay at featherweight. And for that to happen, he needs to fight Yair Rodriguez, who I think got shot dead. Yair, I think he got shot, I have no idea where the fuck he is. He's disappeared for a year and a half. He randomly tweets every once in a while calling people bitches. They have beef. They clearly hate each other. That one press conference and I think it was Mexico City, they were just yelling at each other from across the stage. They have beef. Book this fight. Why not? Moving on to the losers of the White House card. Starting off with Ilia Topuria, the former champion. He's going to need a long time off. He's probably going to come back at the beginning of next year. About 7 months away. Paddy's fighting next month. They hate each other. Paddy and Ilia both clearly have hate for each other. I think if Paddy gets through BSD, I think this is the clear matchup you make. Both of them have said they want this fight. Paddy says he'll gladly welcome Ilia back. And I think this is winnable for both fighters. I mean, Ilia relies on knocking out his opponents. And we saw that once he realized he couldn't knock out Justin Gaethje, his game plan kind of fell apart. And I don't think Ilia will knock out Paddy Pimblett. So it's an interesting fight. I would still pick Ilia to win. Massively. I think he'd probably submit fucking Paddy Pimblett. But I think this would be a great build-up. I think this is the money match you make for Ilia Topuria. Ilia is a star. You want to give him another star to go against. Paddy's that guy. Moving on to the co-main event. Actually, no, not moving on to the co-main event. Because Alex Burr obviously was already match made in the winner's section. Ayman Zahabi. I mean, this dude was on a 7-fight win streak against absolute fucking cans. Give him someone that, his ranking will propel someone up the rankings. Give him David Martinez. David Martinez was meant to fight Umar Nurmagomedov, but that fight got fizzled out, or I think David Martinez got injured. So they're both going to take some time off, obviously the injury. Come back near the end of the year, probably November, December. Book Ayman Zahabi versus David Martinez on, the main event of the, not main event of the fucking, on the main card of a pay-per-view. Propel David Martinez, who would destroy Zahabi. Propel him into like the top 8 of the division. Moving on to Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis has 2 options. Get fed to the Wolves or retire. I would personally like to see Derek Lewis retire. But we all know Derek Lewis is not going to retire. he's just going to keep coming back for money. It's going to be like Tony Ferguson. But at least he doesn't take as much damage as Tony Ferguson does. I think you give him Gable Steveson after he beats Ellison. I think you give Derek Lewis Gable Steveson. Gable Steveson will obviously, he's already going to be propelled up the division. He's going to be ranked by the end of 2027. He's going to be in the top 10 by the end of next year. Derek Lewis is in the rankings. I think he's probably through the 12 through 15 range now. Give him Ellison and then give him Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is the easiest matchup in the rankings, and it's obviously one of the best stylistic matchups for Steveson. Stevenson's grappling is really high level, and why not? It'd be fun. Derek Lewis would probably bring up the rape allegations. Michael Chandler should retire. A lot of retired, right? Goddamn. He got his ass beat. He can't take damage anymore. He wilts. He gives up. Give him Mason Jones, who's just outside the rankings. But I think he needs one more fight. And I think giving him Michael Chandler. Hold on, my mic fell out. Giving him Michael Chandler would be a good stepping stone to see if he really is that high level. And it would be funny, and it's a good name to be on his resume. It would be a war because both of them take a lot of damage in their fights. Mason Jones will willingly die in the ring. I think it's a great matchup. Honestly, Mason Jones would demolish him, I think. I think it would be probably a decision, bro. Mason Jones don't really get finishes like that. But it would be an interesting fight. And I think, that's the type of fighter Michael Chandler is now. He's just going to be oh, give him that guy, it's a name. It's like Tony Ferguson, pretty much. Moving on to Kyle Dawkins. Kyle Dawkins should be shot in the back of the head like Old Yeller. That was a pitiful performance. He should get cut from the UFC, but he's not going to. So give him Atiba Gutierrez. Let him die. That's all I'm going to say. Atiba needs someone that has some name recognition. Obviously, Kyle Dawkins' stock has risen just because he was on this card, even though it was a horrendous performance. I say you book this fight. And yeah, there's not much to say. Just give him Atiba. Atiba needs to step up in competition because, Jesus Christ, he's fighting absolute cans. And Kyle Dawkins is a higher level can. And then moving on to the first fight of the evening, Steve Garcia should fight Aaron Pico. Both of them have, this was the fight I was going to make before, the fight. I booked this when Aaron Pico beat Pitbull. I said the loser of Lopez Garcia should fight Pico. At that time, I thought Garcia was going to lose. He did lose. I still think this is the matchup to make. You don't want to give Pico a massive step up in competition again. Give him someone that's near his level, near his ranking, and see if he really is that high level. Give him Garcia. Garcia's going to take some time off, and then he'll come back. Book this in October, November. And then this would be a great fight to see where Pico's skill level really is, because Steve Garcia is very technical. And we see that he can be knocked out cold. I think Pico wins that with flying colors. I think the grappling of Pico would be a big advantage in that fight, and I think the striking leans Pico too, and the power, just all around. I think Pico's a better fighter. And I think that's a fight you make. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.